welcome once again to Let's Talk Marriage. This is Pastor Larry coming to you this Wednesday afternoon with Let's Talk Marriage. All right. Gonna get right on into our program. Hope everyone is doing well. If you woke up this morning, guess what? You are doing well. All right, we're gonna get right on into our program. Our program today is I found a little article, or someone sent me a little article, and I thought it was worth sharing with you guys on the program. Rules for couples for being mad, or when you in the middle of a disagreement, or if you've had a disagreement. These are the things that to remember when you're having a discussion or having a disagreement. These are things that you should not or should do uh, in the midst of having a disagreement, because we all had a disagreement. I know marriage is perfect, and again, it's not hard work. We just have to make sure that we are respecting each other and showing that we care for each other, even in the midst of a disagreement. And one of the things on here, which I thought the everything that was listed on it was pretty on point, and I thought it was worth sharing with you guys. One of the things on here is say, be mad at me, but don't insult me. Anger is not a ticket to speak carelessly, which is so true. When you and we've said that so many times on the program. When you're in the midst of a disagreement, don't say things off the top of your head. We've all done it before, where you try to get back at someone. If you thought that they might have said something that touched a nerve. Yeah, human nature tells you to defend yourself, but that's no reason, or that does not give you the green light to say things that are hurtful, or bring up things from the past, or anything that's hurtful. There's no reason for that. And the next one here says, be mad at me, but tell me why you're mad. Don't assume I know. And a lot of times that happens, especially with females. They'll or our wives sometimes will be mad at us, and sometimes we legitimately don't know why they're mad at you, and then they won't tell you. If you don't know, oh, you don't know what you did. Tell the person why you're upset with them. Make it clear, and pick a way, or how you're going to tell them why you're mad at them. Make it clear, so that way it can be discussed and it can be handled. Here's number three: be mad at me, but don't broadcast it to others. Cover me, and that's a good thing, because when you're upset with someone, you go off and tell your relatives and tell your friend or your best friend. The next time, if you guys made up, the next time you see these people, they're gonna be rolling their eyes at him. You the one that did that to you. Why you going back to him? So you have to make sure that you cover each other. Don't go broadcasting your disagreements with other people, because other people are not going to be partial, or they're going to always be partial to you, and they're not going to understand when you guys make up. So make sure you don't do that. Number four: be mad at me, but don't forget the many good things about me. Be objective and fair. We said that a lot of times on the program too. Uh, Remembering the good things when you're upset with someone, always remember the times that you had. Don't bring up the rest of the other bad things that happen just because you're in the midst of a disagreement. Think about the things that were positive in your relationship, things that you loved about each other, things that brought you two together in the first place. Think about those things. This list is pretty good. I like this. Number five: be mad at me, but also remember the many other times I have forgiven you. See, sometimes when we're having a disagreement with someone, we want to forget how they forgave you, in the past. So we have to have a very forgiving spirit and don't always have to be right just because you're right. We've said it a lot of times on the program. Don't mean that you have to broadcast it or don't mean you have to speak it. Because you have to find the right time, even with if something is the truth, you have the right time. You have to find the right time to present the truth because it's not always the right time to present it because it leads to other arguments and other hurts, and you don't, you're not supposed to be or should be hurting each other just because you're having a disagreement. Here is number 6. Be mad at me, but don't give me silent treatment. Keep the communication lines open. That is such a good statement because a lot of times when we are in the middle of an argument with someone, you want to give them the silent treatment and don't say anything. That breaks the, again, like they said here, that breaks the line of communication open. You can't communicate if you're not saying anything. You just have to pick a way to say something. Don't just say the first thing that enters the top of your head. Make sure you think about it, cool down first, or even if you have to take a walk or something, cool down and then come back and discuss it. Don't, but keep the lines of communication open. That is really good one there. Be mad at me, but number 7, be mad at me, but don't use it as an excuse to cheat on me. And a lot of times when people in the midst of an argument, especially if it's a heated argument, they'll go looking up old acquaintances and start telling the old acquaintance troubles that they're having at home. That is a no. You should never be bringing a third party into your disagreement unless it's a licensed therapist or you're talking to your pastor or something like that in counseling. You should not be bringing a third party in it. That is a definitely a no. Here's number 8. Be mad at me, but don't hurt me to even the score. Love doesn't revenge. That is so true. So very true. Just because you're mad at someone, don't give you the right to try to say things to hurt them. And we've all done it before. But you have to think about it. Again, you have to make sure that you think before you say something in the middle of a disagreement because it's very easy to bring up things from the past or say things to sort of get back at the person and tit for tat. You don't want to get into that area, so you have to make sure that we're not doing this, and that's a very important statement there. Number 9, be mad at me, but don't stay mad for long. Let's sort this out quickly. That is a good thing. People used to say years ago, don't let the sun go down on your argument, which is very true. You should not take an argument over into the next day. By the end of the day, you should make up because if you take it over into the next day, then you'll stop talking to each other and the lines of communication will really be shut down. So you have to make sure that we are uh, keeping that lines of communication open and make sure that we get past that argument or come to some agreement before the end of the day. Uh, Number 11, be mad at me, but don't threaten to quit or what we have in it is not the solution. A lot of times when we get into argument, we start going to extremes. You have to think about that and not do that because once you start doing that, then you're going to start a whole nother argument and someone might on the other end might say, well, just might as well, it's not a reason to give up on it because marriage is a sacred uh, uh, thing between God and man, between God and man and between man and woman. It is a sacred thing. So we have to make sure that we are not going there or taking the argument to that. You have to think about it because sometimes you say things, again, we say things that we don't mean in the middle of the argument or in the middle of a disagreement. We might say things that come off the top of your head. That's why you have to think before you say something. And sometimes it's better to not shut the communication down, but don't say anything as a remark to something that you've heard or something that was said to you. Just wait, until you calm down. Wait to, you think about it before you speak, and that's how you have good communication. Uh, Number 12, be mad at me, but don't punish me using sex. Let's keep intimacy special. Don't weaponize it. A lot of times when when people get in an argument, they shut the other person out on intimacy, and that's not a good thing to do. Because that leads from one thing to another bad thing. You don't want that to be used as a weapon. And some people, when they want to have their way, they use that as a means of getting back at a person and shutting them out. That's another way of shutting people out or shutting another person out. So don't use that as a weapon against your spouse. Never use that as a weapon. That should be a special moment, not used to get your way or not used to persuade someone to do something that they don't really want to do. So that should never be used. Number 13, be mad at me, but don't keep reminding me of things you said you forgave me for. We talked about that a lot of times on the program. Don't start bringing up things from the past. And it's very easy to do that. That's why I said that make sure you set memorable occasions where there's joyous occasions where things like that you can always bring up, and it always lighten any disagreement when you talk about positive things that you both experience, like something on vacation, something that was said when you first met, how you first met. And, those are the things that are positive, but don't bring up, the negative things where you could lead to more and more of disagreement. Uh, Number 14, which is the last one, be mad at me, but don't develop a bad attitude or view of yourself. I take responsibility for offering you, offending you. Let's make us work. And that's very important. Learn how to make your relationship work. It's not hard and it's not easy. It's what we put into it. We make it hard. We make a lot of things hard in our life. Even going to the grocery store, we make that hard by going in the grocery store and complaining about the prices. There's some people that didn't have the money to go to the grocery store in the first place. So you should never, if the prices are expensive, go to a cheaper store or shop around. You can get good deals if you allow yourself to shop around. And the same thing in a marriage, you uh, can have a good marriage, but you have to make sure that you've done your homework when it comes to disagreements. Make sure that you are sticking to your guns when you say that I'm not going to go there, I'm not going to do this. Make sure you stay there and make sure that you remember all the good things and discuss all the good things in your relationship. And this is how we make our relationship work. And these are the things that you remember to do when you are in an argument or a disagreement with your spouse. This is Pastor Larry. We're going to be signing off until we meet again with Let's Talk Marriage. We're going to also take this opportunity to invite you out to our services at New Zion Christian Center. We're located at 15014 Displaying Street in Plainfield, Illinois. Our services begin Sunday morning at 11 a.m. God bless you until we meet again with Let's Talk Marriage. All right, all right, all right.